maintenance and support services for the provision of airport management solutions at our 5 international airports. These are people who have been providing these services over the years, and they have done so well, so we decided to give it back to them again. Our management solutions at our 5 international airports of Abuja, Kano, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Enugu airports. The next is the approval for the award of contracts for the procurement and installation of advanced tertiary power for all airports' navigational aid system and 14 VHF remote stations by the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency. This is the agency that is concerned with navigational equipment across the country. And what we sought to do today was to get tertiary power for all of them, for all of these stations and the navigational aids, and it was graciously approved. The next, of course, was that we also sought approval to get 15 airport rescue and firefighting vehicles at the major international airports. This is in tune with ICAO standard. That's ICAO means International Civil Aviation Organization, that continues to audit our airports to see whether they meet international standards. And one of the major requirements is that we must have very well-equipped firefighting vehicles in all of these airports. So that was graciously approved. 15 of them will be bought for the 5 international airports. Now, this is one of the major ones I want to mention now, that we sought approval of FEC to exclude properties owned by the Federal Airport Authority in and around the airports in the country from disposal to private individuals there's one committee called Presidential Implementation Committee or so on government properties set up long ago by Obasanjo's government, where they sought to sell government properties to private individuals, maybe some of them on owner-occupier basis. But at that time, I think it was through presidential memo that they excluded certain properties at that time, having to do with security, safety and security. Now, it has been our problem at the airports where people come and say that because they were owner-occupiers, they will buy properties within the airports or around the airports, meant for example, very technical staff, maybe firefighting staff, AFSEC, navigational, people who we need at very short notice, because the airports are, they are environments where you have emergency, you can have emergency anytime. So you need all of those people to stay within government quarters inside the airports because of emergencies. But we have had a serious problem where many of them claim that they had bought these properties. And so you now have private individuals living within the airports, living within security and safety areas. But today, graciously, Mr. President said we should exclude all of those properties from disposal to private individuals. So I'm just making this public announcement to those who think they have bought, who purported to have bought. We will not give those properties to them. We will not, because we told them from the beginning that these properties were excluded originally, but they said they didn't see any memo to that effect. Now there's a memo to that effect. We will not concede any of such properties within the airports or around the airports to any private individual. Now, the other one is the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency. For the last administration, they moved all the agencies of aviation to Abuja. So NAMA is one of them, where you are supposed to have a control and command center in terms of navigational equipment and navigational activities. Now, we are renting private properties, and that is not safe enough for the country to equip private properties with such command and control centers to monitor flights across the country and all of that. So we want to build a headquarters, a permanent headquarters for NAMA in Abuja, because we have not had one since we moved from Lagos, but they have a permanent headquarters building in Lagos. But since we moved, we had to make do with a rented property. So we are going to construct headquarters for NAMA. Now, the next one is the concession of the Port Harcourt International Airport to investors to run. I made the point before that we are running our airport at a loss. So most of the money we made from Lagos and Abuja, perhaps some from Kano, we pour it and just waste it on other airports that are running at a loss. The Minister of Finance graciously, and of course, the Minister of the Economy, who is seated there, graciously had continued to encourage us to say, look, we have to bring in investors to run these airports. So we have 2 major airports now that we have approval in terms of the business case to begin to finalize with private investors. Port Harcourt, before we came in, Port Harcourt was a no-go area. Almost all investors shunned Port Harcourt. But I'm sure because of the activities of this government and the sincerity of the government, once we came to power, Port Harcourt now became the beautiful bride. I'll tell you that under the last administration, no bidder came for Port Harcourt, not one. They advertised and advertised, not one person came for Port Harcourt. But when we came here, more than 6 people were scrambling and falling over themselves to get Port Harcourt. And so we presented it today, and we have a business case approved. And then the final part of it is that this is a message to the unions. We will engage them. Nobody will lose his job. So I'm making this very clear because there has been all kinds of misinformation to the union members. I am pro-union. I am pro-workers. And I know the kind of pressure they have been putting on me, including people within the system, instigating them against these concessions. They will not dictate policy of government. I'm ready to engage them. I'm ready to talk with them in terms of these concessions, but they will not dictate policy of government to us. We will concession the airports. They are running at a loss. We cannot continue to waste government money. They will not lose their jobs. That's the message to the union. I repeat it again, no worker will lose his job as a result of the concession. Once they are comfortable with that, then I think they can go along with us in that respect. The next one, second to last, is the approval for full business case for the concession of contactless biometric verification system at our Nigerian airports. So we want to link your NIN and all of that to a system at the airport so that when you come, we verify you are the actual person that is boarding that aircraft. We have too many anonymous people boarding aircraft. We have too many people using fake identity to board aircraft, and that is not good for the security of this country. Why did we do NIN? Why did we do all of that? It's for identification of individuals. So we have a system now that is linking all the NINs to the system at an airport, to the airport, both local and international flights. So when you come and present yourself, we will actually verify through your NIN that you are the person actually boarding that aircraft. It is for the safety and security inside ICAO standard, safety and security of the country, to know those who are ferrying back and forth within the country. So we have approved that, and we'll go into full implementation. The last one is just some contract under the 2024 budget of the ministry, like Airfield lighting in some airports and all of that. We want to put some lights. Some airports that close so early. With some 6 o'clock at times, we close some airports down because there are no lights at night to operate night flights at those airports. So we have, under this 2024 budget, we want to put Airfield lighting in some of these airports so that we can operate them late into the night and increase the capacity of our local aircraft to make, local airlines to make money by carrying passengers till 10, 11 in the night.